माननीय श्री GVL Narasimha Rao.
Thank you, sir, for the opportunity. I'd like to congratulate Honorable Minister and Honorable Prime Minister for such a media-friendly legislation. Sir, this bill is an important legislation from the perspective of press freedom. It will also help in ease of doing media business. It will obviate the need to go to district magistrates and other officials for any unwarranted permissions. Therefore, it also fulfills the government's cardinal principle of minimum government and maximum governance, because DMs have many other things to do rather than do such, I would say, silly things. So I think this is also in the spirit of government's digital governance, because this will obviate the need to submit any papers. It can all be done online. The submissions can be done online, and in a short period of maximum 2 months, as the Honorable Minister said, people can get the licenses. By taking away all the penal provisions for minor violations, government is also expressing its vishwas in people. Yesterday we passed the Jan Vishwas bill, and this bill itself, like the minister said, 9 provisions have been deleted for very minor violations. One of such violations which is mentioned here, which mandated a jail sentence, was if a person could be imprisoned for not printing legibly on a book the name of the printer and the place of printing. Even for this, you could be jailed, as per the current provisions in the Act. So I think it's inconceivable in today's world. So by making this a completely hassle-free and transparent process, the government has come out with a very important piece of media reform, and I compliment government for it. Sir, I'd like to those who criticize our party politically, I think they have to hold a mirror and see what they have done, what has been their record in press freedom. In emergency era, soon after the emergency was imposed, for 2 days, no newspapers came out in this country. More than 250 journalists were arrested. 7 foreign correspondents were expelled from the country. 29 foreign correspondents were banned from entering India because they could report what was happening here. Immediate guidelines were issued to the press, and without a chief press advisor's permission, nothing could be published. And the party which has imposed such media restrictions and censorship, which has throttled the media, which has jailed people, which has banned foreign journalists, today wants to give us sermons in media freedom. It is the same party when in government in 1982, they came out with a Bihar press bill. The bill was passed by the Bihar Assembly by the then Chief Minister Jagannath Mishra, and this bill was passed in a manner of 5 minutes in that state assembly, and it inserted certain provisions into Indian Penal Code to prevent printing and publishing grossly indecent, scurrilous, or matters intended for blackmail, leaving everything for imagination. Anything that the government would consider having scope for blackmail, that could not be printed. This was a direct assault on the press freedom. There was a massive outrage by the media, and the government was forced to withdraw this bill 1 year later. And while withdrawing it, the then Chief Minister Jagannath Mishra said why he brought such a bill in the first place. He said in 1982, the then Prime Minister was upset. According to him, the then Prime Minister was upset with media reports about her differences with her daughter-in-law and was really disturbed. And looking at the manner in which she was disturbed, he said, I got the sense, I got the feeling that I had to do something about it, and therefore he brought in this Bihar press bill. Because something was published about differences between the mother-in-law and the daughter-in-law, very powerful family. And this had to be withdrawn in 1 year. In 1988, the then Prime Minister, because there were a lot of forced revelations and it was becoming very uncomfortable by the government, they brought in a defamation bill. And this bill, this prevented any kind of offensive writings and criminal imputations. They said you would be jailed if you wrote something that is offensive. Naturally, there was a lot of uproar, and this bill also had to be, after having been passed, this bill had to be withdrawn. This was passed in the Lok Sabha before it was brought into the Rajya Sabha because of the media outrage, public outrage, opposition from parties like the BJP, because we stood always for press freedom, media freedom, because of the voice of stalwarts like Atal Bihari Vajpayee ji, LK Advani ji. They were forced to withdraw that particular bill. And it is this party today which claims, oh, we are there, we stand for media freedom, and under the BJP, the media is somewhat under attack. And having read out all these provisions, I explained to you, sir, I explained to the August House how the Congress party, under various dispensations, had attacked the media and ensured that the press was always forced to bend. Famously, Shri LK Advani ji, who was himself a minister for information and broadcasting in the Janta government, I think he had once said that the government at that time during emergency wanted the media to bend, but the media actually crawled when there was no need for it. The media went out of the way to placate and please the government. We as a party believe in total media freedom. Honorable Prime Minister has faced the stingest of criticism from the media on most occasions unfairly. On most occasions unfairly, but we never, I think he had taken all this in our stride. We believe in media freedom. In this context, I would like to mention one particular reference to the Honorable Minister, and I'm deeply disturbed by it. And I don't know why sections of the media do not get the same kind of, there are some indices that publish which rank India even lower than Pakistan in media freedom. Can there be anything, can there be a bigger joke than this? India being ranked below Pakistan, and I don't know if friends of Zakir Naik are on the panel to assess countries on media freedom. How can India be? So we are rated among the lowest in the country, in the world, and here, I think if I were in the press council, or if I were a person in the media, I would be outraged by this assessment. But therefore, I would appeal to the Honorable Minister to engage with sections of the media, the Press Council of India, and to really ask them to really respond. You cannot be a party to such outrageous international defamatory attempts. This is also a part of India Defame campaign. So therefore, I don't think we should take it lightly, take it in our stride. Certainly, we should take them head on and tell them to explain how Pakistan, of all places in the world, and how countries which have no democracy whatsoever, how they could be rated above India. I think it's nothing but a facade, and this needs to be exposed. Thank you very much, sir. I support the bill.
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आपको.